Hello, night travelers, and welcome back to the Night Observer. This is a quiet place where weary souls come to rest, to find comfort, and to drift gently into sleep, while allowing the mind to wander through the vast and mysterious universe. Tonight, I have lit a small bonfire. Once again, we gather around its steady glow, warming ourselves as we listen to stories written not on paper, but across the sky itself. Together, we will lift our eyes upward and immerse ourselves in the boundless cosmos. We will travel back to ancient times when the universe was just beginning to take shape, when galaxies, stars, and planets were still learning how to exist. We will speak of space and time, things that seem ordinary in daily life, yet quietly govern the greatest cosmic machinery ever known. And we will reflect on humanity's patient, determined efforts to understand the deepest mysteries of that endless night above us. For now, allow me to guide you gently away from the weight of a long day. Let us settle into a place of complete stillness, where only the soft whispers of nothingness remain, and where stories from the dawn of time drift calmly through the darkness. Night travelers, let your body fully relax. Feel the warmth of your blanket surrounding you, like a soft cocoon spun just for this moment. Take a slow, deep breath. Feel the cool air filling your lungs, and then exhale gently, as though you are returning a small piece of yourself to the universe. Tonight, we will set aside the noise of the present. We will turn the clock back, beyond memory, beyond history, to a time before even darkness had learned to exist. Together, we will listen to the very first heartbeat of creation and discover that each of us is part of a vast symphony that began billions of years ago. Welcome to the Whisper of Origin, the formation of the universe. Let your mind become as light as a grain of stardust, and allow the story of how everything began to carry you into the most peaceful sleep. The singularity, where time began. Our greatest story begins around 13.8 billion years ago. Before that moment, there was no before, because time itself was born alongside the universe. Everything we know today, the mountains and oceans, the countless galaxies scattered across the sky, and even you, resting here tonight, was once compressed into an unimaginably small point. Scientists call this moment the singularity. It was a state of infinite density and temperature, where the laws of physics as we understand them simply ceased to function. Even Einstein's general theory of relativity cannot describe what truly happened in that instant. This was not an explosion within space, but the very birth of space and time themselves, emerging from profound nothingness. Georges Lemaitre, a Belgian priest and physicist, once described this beginning as the primordial atom. He imagined that if we could rewind the universe like a film, all matter and energy would converge into a single point where the fabric of space-time was first woven. It was a silent moment, yet it carried within it the potential for all creation, like a breath held just before the first word is spoken. The Planck era and absolute unity. Breathe slowly now, evenly. We are entering the first fleeting instance after the universe awakened. This is known as the Planck era, lasting from 0 to just 10 to the minus 43 seconds. At this time, the universe was unimaginably small. Its characteristic length measured at only 1.6 times 10 to the negative 35th meters, known as the Planck length. Temperatures soared to 10 to the power of 32 degrees Celsius, so extreme that even particles of matter could not yet exist in any familiar form. Most remarkably, during this brief moment, the four fundamental forces of nature, gravity, electromagnetism, the strong nuclear force, and the weak nuclear force, were united as one. The universe existed in perfect unity then, a flawless harmony, without contrast or separation, a single, pure melody. But this balance was delicate and brief. As time advanced toward the 10 to the minus 43rd second mark, gravity began to separate from the other forces. With that quiet division, the Planck era came to an end, and the long process of separation began, one that would eventually give rise to all the complexity and beauty of the world we know tonight. Cosmic inflation. Now, imagine a single grain of sand suddenly expanding until it stretches across an entire ocean, done in less than a billionth of a second. This is cosmic inflation, a brief but decisive moment that occurred around 10 to the minus 37 seconds after the Big Bang. In that fleeting instant, the universe experienced an extraordinary burst of expansion, growing in size by at least 100-fold. To place this in gentler terms, a region of space smaller than a proton was suddenly stretched to dimensions far larger than the observable universe we see tonight. This expansion happened so swiftly that it was not limited by the speed of light itself. Why does this moment matter so deeply? Because it quietly resolved two of the greatest puzzles in cosmology, the horizon problem and the flatness problem. Inflation smoothed out the tiny wrinkles of space, giving the universe its remarkably flat geometry, where parallel beams of light can travel forever without crossing. It also explains why regions of the sky separated by billions of light years share the same temperature. Before inflation, these regions were once close companions, sharing warmth and reaching equilibrium before being gently carried far apart. During this time, the smallest quantum fluctuations, soft, fleeting ripples in reality, were stretched and frozen into place. These subtle disturbances became the gravitational seeds from which galaxies would one day grow. The war between matter and antimatter. As the universe continued to cool after inflation, it entered a new state, filled with an intense glowing mixture known as quark-gluon plasma. In this searing environment, matter and antimatter were born in pairs, only to collide and vanish again in flashes of energy. By all ordinary logic, matter and antimatter should have existed in perfect balance, annihilating each other completely and leaving behind a universe filled only with light. But something rare and decisive occurred, a process known as baryogenesis. For reasons we still seek to fully understand, nature introduced a slight imbalance. For every billion pairs of matter and antimatter particles, there was one extra particle of matter. The struggle that followed was fierce. Matter and antimatter met and destroyed one another in vast numbers. Yet that tiny excess, so small it seems almost insignificant, was enough. A fragile remnant of matter survived. Everything you see tonight, the stars overhead, the earth beneath you, and the quiet rhythm of your own breath, is formed from those survivors. You are living evidence of matter's quiet persistence against nothingness. The first minute of alchemy. When the universe was about 2 minutes old, its temperature had cooled to roughly 1 billion Kelvin. In that brief window, a remarkable transformation began. Big Bang nucleosynthesis. Over the next 20 minutes, protons and neutrons joined together to form the first atomic nuclei. Most became hydrogen, the simplest and most abundant element. About 25% of the universe's mass transformed into helium, with trace amounts of deuterium and lithium quietly taking shape. There is something profoundly steady about this moment. The ratio formed then, approximately 75% hydrogen and 25% helium, has remained unchanged for 13.8 billion years. Observations of ancient gas clouds confirm it with remarkable precision. This balance stands as one of the strongest pillars supporting the reality of the Big Bang. Those first few minutes laid the chemical foundation for every star that would one day ignite, for every galaxy that would bloom across the darkness, and for every quiet night sky you look upon as you drift toward rest. The moment of light's freedom, CMB. After the turbulent era of nuclear formation, the universe slipped into a long, hushed pause that lasted about 380,000 years. During this time, it resembled a dense, glowing fog, thick, hot, and impenetrable. Free electrons drifted endlessly, colliding again and again with photons, trapping light and preventing it from traveling any meaningful distance. The cosmos existed in a state of perpetual haze, bright yet blind. Then came another quiet miracle: recombination. As the universe continued to cool, atomic nuclei finally gained the calm strength needed to hold onto electrons, forming the first neutral atoms. In that instant, the fog gently lifted. Light, imprisoned since the beginning, was finally set free, able to travel unhindered across the vastness of space. That ancient light is still with us today. It lingers as the cosmic microwave background, surrounding us in every direction, carrying the memory of the universe's earliest breath. When you notice the faint static on an untuned television screen, a small part of that whisper comes from this very moment. It is the oldest childhood photograph of the universe that humanity has ever glimpsed. Conjectures about before. Your breath is now slow, deep. We have arrived at the edge of what science can clearly observe. And yet, the human mind continues to ask, softly and persistently, what came before the Big Bang? Because time itself was born with the Big Bang, this question may be as elusive as asking what lies north of the North Pole. Still, some of the greatest thinkers have offered thoughtful possibilities: the Big Bounce. Perhaps our universe emerged from the quiet collapse of a previous one, expanding, contracting, and rebounding in an endless cosmic rhythm. Eternal inflation and the multiverse. Perhaps inflation never truly ended everywhere. Our universe may be only one gentle bubble among countless others, each with its own laws, drifting in a vast cosmic sea. Quantum volatility. Some ideas suggest that the universe arose spontaneously from absolute nothingness, born from a fleeting quantum fluctuation. Whatever the truth may be, rest peacefully tonight, knowing that you are sheltered within a cosmos that has existed for 13.8 billion years, with remarkable balance and endurance. Your breath now grows lighter, like mist drifting through distant nebulae. Feel the calm assurance that you are not a stranger in this immense space. You are a child of the Big Bang, carrying within you atoms forged in primordial fire and ancient light. All the violence of inflation, all the fierce encounters between matter and antimatter have long since settled into a deep, protective stillness, one that now watches over your sleep. The universe has spent billions of years unfolding so that you may lie here tonight, feeling your heartbeat gently echo the rhythm of eternal space. Imagine the night sky as a soft velvet blanket, woven from the light of the distant past, slowly drawing you into the most tranquil dreams amid an ocean of stars. If the universe could emerge from a single point and expand without limit, then the love and curiosity within you can also begin quietly and grow wide enough to embrace the world. Tonight, allow yourself to become a small point of peace, where every worry dissolves into light. Night travelers, let your body settle into stillness. Feel the warmth of the blanket resting on your shoulders. Take a deep breath. Sense the calm spreading gently within, and exhale slowly. Tonight, we will not dwell on the violence of creation, but instead observe how the universe patiently shapes itself into beauty. We will watch unseen presences assemble kingdoms of light and silent giants guarding the hearts of galaxies. Welcome to the architect of the night, matter and galaxy. Let your thoughts drift along the currents of space and time, and let the quiet music of the stars carry you into the most peaceful sleep, the heart of the shadow. Supermassive black holes. At the quiet heart of most galaxies resides a presence both insatiable and essential, the supermassive black hole. They are the ultimate guardians, silent, unseen, yet profoundly influential. A one-way gateway. A black hole is a region of space where gravity becomes so overwhelming that not even light can escape its grasp. Its final boundary is known as the event horizon. Once crossed, there is no return to the universe as we understand it. To a distant observer, time itself appears to slow for you. Your image would fade, redden, and seem to freeze at the edge, suspended forever by the effects of extreme time dilation. A dissection of a cosmic giant. Black holes possess a structure as elegant as it is terrifying. Accretion disk, a luminous, swirling ring of matter spiraling inward, heated by friction to millions of degrees. It shines fiercely in X-rays, and in extreme cases, gives birth to quasars, the brightest beacons in the universe. Singularity. At the very center lies a point of infinite density, where all known laws of physics quietly surrender. Spaghettification. Should you fall into a smaller black hole, tidal forces would stretch your body into a long, delicate filament, thinning you into a thread before you ever reach the core. The galaxy's timekeeper. Black holes do not only consume, they also regulate. Through a delicate balance known as the M-sigma relationship, energy released from black holes can expel hot gas, slowing excessive star formation and preserving harmony within the galaxy. At the center of our own Milky Way rests Sagittarius A star, a remarkably calm black hole, weighing about 4.3 million times the mass of our Sun. The final battle, dark energy. Now, allow your body to soften completely. We are approaching the most powerful force of all, the one shaping the ultimate destiny of every realm of light we have passed through, the repulsion of the void. In the late 1990s, astronomers made a startling discovery. The universe was not slowing its expansion under gravity. Instead, it was accelerating. The invisible force responsible is known as dark energy, accounting for roughly 68 to 70% of the entire cosmos. Dark energy appears to be woven into empty space itself. As space expands, more of it is created, and with it, more dark energy. Quietly, relentlessly, it stretches the universe toward an increasingly solitary future, a distant, silent horizon. If this expansion continues, trillions of years from now, galaxies will drift so far apart that their light will never reach one another again. Future observers in the Milky Way will look into a sky of perfect darkness, seeing no galaxies beyond their own. They may believe they exist alone in an endless void. This is known as the Big Freeze, the slow thermal fading of the universe. Your breath is now slow, deep. Feel the calm assurance of knowing you rest within a cosmos that has endured for 13.8 billion years with remarkable stability. You are not merely a small individual drifting through time. You are part of a grand history, patiently shaped by dark matter and cosmic forces. Every atom within you was forged in the hearts of ancient stars, within long-vanished spiral galaxies. The Earth continues its silent rotation, held gently by gravity. The magnetic field still shields you. Light that began its journey millions of years ago still slips quietly through the night, standing watch over your rest. After all its upheavals, the universe has arranged itself so that tonight, you may lie here and feel your heartbeat softly echo the breath of eternal space. Let your body relax completely. Let your thoughts grow light, like a drifting cloud of planetary dust, and surrender to the deepest, most peaceful sleep, wrapped in the quiet protection of creation's long history. Imagine galaxies as radiant vessels of light, gliding across an ocean of dark matter. Even if their journey ends in silence, tonight they still shine, quietly, faithfully, to warm your dreams. Are you still awake, night travelers? The fire beside us is still warm. Let me gently lead you away from the noise of the human world, away from the restless surface of the earth, from geological upheavals and the long birth of life we have spoken of before. Tonight, we will no longer stand upon solid ground. Allow your thoughts to grow light. Allow your body to sink deeply into the quiet comfort of your bed. Just as the universe itself, hang suspended in the vast and silent void. In the soft glow of this fire, we will witness together the great flames that illuminate the night. Stars igniting from dust, planets slowly taking shape. And at last, a quiet and melancholic song about the ending of all things. Welcome to Flames Amidst the Ocean of Stars, Stars, Planets, and the End. Let your breath fall into harmony with the eternal rhythm of space and allow the stars to guide you toward the most peaceful sleep. The nurseries in the void. Star formation. The universe is far from empty. Scattered across its darkness are vast nurseries known as nebulae, or molecular clouds, delicate ghost-like ribbons of gas and dust stretching across light years of space. The birth of a star begins quietly when a dense pocket within one of these clouds succumbs to its own gravity. As matter gathers, the region spins faster and grows hotter. At its heart, a glowing core forms, a young star known as a protostar. When pressure and temperature within this core become immense, a profound transformation takes place. Nuclear fusion begins. Hydrogen atoms merge into helium, releasing tremendous energy as light and heat. In that instant, a star is truly born, shining bravely against the darkness. Our sun is one such star, holding a perfect balance between the inward pull of gravity and the outward force of nuclear energy for over 4.5 billion years. The cosmic alchemy, the eternal life of the stars. Breathe slowly now, steady and calm, like the quiet, persistent heartbeat of the stars themselves. Each star is more than a source of light. It is a grand furnace of creation. Over billions of years, stars patiently transform simple hydrogen into heavier elements. Stars far more massive than our sun forge carbon, oxygen, silicon, and eventually iron. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, and the oxygen you breathe tonight were all created in the burning hearts of stars that lived and died long before Earth existed. In this way, we are truly stardust, awakened, remembering its origins. When a massive star finally exhausts its fuel, its life ends in a tremendous supernova explosion. In that final moment, it scatters its precious elements into space, enriching the cosmos and preparing the raw materials for future stars, planets, and life. What remains behind may be a dense neutron star or a rapidly spinning pulsar, silent remnants of a once blazing giant. The jewels in the dust disk, planet formation. Around newly formed stars, another gentle dance begins. The leftover material settles into a flat, rotating disk of gas and dust known as a protoplanetary disk. Within this disk, tiny grains of dust slowly collide and cling together, forming larger bodies called planetesimals. Close to the star, where heat dominates, only rock and metal can remain solid, giving rise to rocky worlds like Earth and Mars. Farther out, beyond the frost line, water, methane, and other volatile substances can freeze, allowing massive gas giants such as Jupiter and Saturn to grow. Our solar system reflects this elegant arrangement. Its remarkable stability allows Earth to rest precisely within the habitable zone, where liquid water can exist and where life, memory, and dreams have quietly flourished. The guardians of the horizon, black holes. Now, allow your body to relax completely. Let your thoughts drift beyond the limits of ordinary understanding. When a star of extraordinary mass collapses, it gives birth to a black hole. A black hole is a region of space where gravity becomes so intense that not even light can escape. Its ultimate boundary is known as the event horizon. Beyond it, all familiar connections to the universe are severed, and information is drawn toward a point of infinite density called the singularity. At the centers of most galaxies dwell supermassive black holes, weighing millions to billions of times more than our sun. Far from being mere destroyers, they act as cosmic timekeepers, regulating the growth of their galaxies through the energy they release. At the heart of our own Milky Way lies Sagittarius, a star, a quiet, patient giant, keeping watch over the long, slow rhythm of our galactic home. Rest now, night travelers. The stars are still burning, the planets are still circling, and the universe continues its ancient dance, so that you may drift peacefully into sleep beneath its endless sky. The last lullaby, the fate of the universe. Breathe slowly, deeply. Now we turn our gaze toward the farthest reaches of time, where the future stretches so wide that meaning itself begins to soften. The universe is expanding, and most remarkably, it is expanding faster with every passing moment. The invisible force driving galaxies ever farther apart is known as dark energy, accounting for roughly 68 to 73% of the entire cosmos. Depending on its strength and on the density of matter within the universe, several destinies quietly wait in the darkness. The Big Freeze, also called the heat death, is the most widely accepted future. As galaxies drift beyond one another's reach, their light will no longer cross the void. Stars will exhaust their fuel and fade away, one by one. The universe will slowly become a vast, silent ocean of darkness, its temperature sinking toward absolute zero. Another possibility is the Big Crunch. If gravity were somehow strong enough to overcome dark energy, cosmic expansion would halt and reverse. Everything, galaxies, stars, and space itself, would collapse back into a fiery singularity, perhaps giving rise to another beginning in an endless cycle known as the Big Bounce. There is also the Big Rip. Should dark energy grow ever more powerful, it would ultimately tear apart galaxies, star systems, planets, and finally even atoms themselves, unraveling the very fabric of space and time. Your breath is now light, effortless. Feel the calm of this moment. Though the universe is vast and shaped by forces beyond imagination, you are here, safe, grounded, and gently held by the Earth. Our solar system will remain stable for at least another 5 billion years before the sun slowly transforms into a red giant and ends its life as a quiet, diamond-like white dwarf. The magnetic field still shields you, and the moonlight, born of an ancient cosmic collision, continues to pour softly through the night, offering comfort and rest. The universe has spent 13.8 billion years unfolding toward this very moment, so that you may lie here and feel your heartbeat quietly align with the breath of eternal space. Allow your body to relax completely. Let your thoughts grow as light as drifting planetary dust, and ease yourself into the deepest, most peaceful sleep, protected by the long and majestic history of creation. Imagine the night sky as a black velvet blanket woven with ancient light, gently sheltering your dreams within an endless ocean of stars. Tonight, as you look out through the window into deep space, you may feel your heart grow lighter in the presence of such profound stillness. Each tiny point of light you see is not merely a star. It is a sentence from the oldest story ever written. When we gaze at the sky, we are reading history in the language of light. Our story did not begin on this solid ground beneath us. It began in an unimaginably small point, a singularity of infinite density and temperature, some 13.8 billion years ago. At that moment, space and time themselves were newborn, just beginning to unfold. The Big Bang was not an explosion within space, but the expansion of space itself. In less than a millionth of a second, a miracle called cosmic inflation occurred, stretching the universe faster than light, smoothing its structure, and planting the earliest seeds of matter. You may find yourself moved by the thought of the great struggle between matter and antimatter in those early moments. In theory, they should have destroyed one another completely, leaving only light behind. Yet a tiny imbalance, no more than 1 part in 30 million, remained. From that fragile surplus came everything we know: the mountains, the oceans, and the quiet rhythm of your heart tonight. Only 380,000 years later, as the universe cooled enough for light to finally travel freely, the cosmos released its first clear image: the cosmic microwave background. That ancient light has been journeying ever since, crossing billions of years, until at last it reached our instruments and our understanding. And now, here you are, resting peacefully, part of a story written across time itself. But the universe is not made of dazzling light alone. Hidden deep within its darkness are the elusive particles of dark matter, accounting for about 27% of everything that exists. They are like silent gardeners of the cosmos, unseen yet ever present, using the gentle pull of gravity to gather vast clouds of gas. Under their quiet guidance, magnificent spiral galaxies take shape, along with the ancient solemn forms of elliptical galaxies. And at the very hearts of these kingdoms of light stand supermassive black holes, solemn guardians that regulate the rhythm of star birth and death through their immense restrained power. Yet the deepest magic unfolds within the fiery cores of stars, the great alchemical furnaces of creation. For billions of years, stars have patiently transformed simple hydrogen into heavier elements. And when their long lives come to an end, they do so in breathtaking supernova explosions, scattering oxygen, carbon, and iron across the cosmos. The iron flowing in your blood, the calcium supporting your bones. Each was forged in the final moments of distant stars. We are, in the most literal sense, awakened stardust, lying here tonight and quietly contemplating where we came from. When you reflect on this 13.8 billion-year journey, you may feel both small and deeply grateful. Even if the universe is destined for a cold and silent big freeze, as dark energy slowly pushes galaxies beyond one another forever, tonight remains perfectly arranged. The Earth continues its silent spin. The magnetic field still shelters you, and light from the distant past continues its long journey, gently guiding you towards sleep. Imagine yourself resting on a tiny vessel of light, drifting across an immense ocean of nothingness. Whether the universe began in fire or will one day fade into stillness, this moment, your moment of awareness and existence, is part of the most magnificent symphony ever composed. Now, allow yourself to lie down fully, letting your body sink into the quiet comfort of the bed. Take a deep breath. Feel the gentle air filling your lungs, and exhale slowly. Release every concern, letting your mind become like a blank page, waiting patiently for the universe to write upon it. Tonight, we will not speak of objects or events, but of the very place and time in which all things reside. Together, we will contemplate the grandest stage of all, the setting where reality itself begins to play its first notes. Welcome to the stage of things, concepts, and definitions. Let your breath fall into harmony with the slow expansion of space, and allow the story of origins to carry you into the most peaceful sleep. Space, from a container to a flexible silk. When you look up at the night sky, what do you truly see? An endless stretch of darkness? For humanity, and even for the greatest thinkers in history, the nature of space has been a quiet intellectual struggle lasting centuries. Dreams of the absolute. Imagine an immense, empty container, unchanging and eternal. This was how Isaac Newton understood space. To him, space was an absolute entity, a silent and immutable stage upon which celestial bodies appeared and vanished like actors in a play. Even if every star, planet, and atom were removed, Newton believed that this vast container would remain, cold, empty, and indifferent. The dance of relationships. Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz offered a gentler, more relational vision. He argued that space is not a thing in itself, but a system of relationships between objects. Think of it as the invisible bonds within a family. Without people, those bonds do not exist. In Leibniz's view, space only gains meaning when one object is understood in relation to another. The lens of the soul. Then comes Immanuel Kant, softly offering yet another perspective. Space, he suggested, is not something external at all, but something within us. It is a form of perception, a quiet framework the human mind uses to organize raw sensations into a coherent world. You do not learn space through experience. You are born with it, a silent lens through which reality gently takes shape. Time, a river flowing from nothingness. Now, gently notice your heartbeat, each steady pulse marking the quiet passage of time. Every beat is a small step forward. But what truly is time? It is the fourth dimension of reality, the silent current that allows change, memory, and becoming to exist. The great clock of creation. Much like space, time was once imagined as absolute. Isaac Newton believed the universe was governed by a single, universal clock, ticking evenly and impartially for all things, everywhere. Whether you stood firmly on Earth or drifted between distant galaxies, a second was always a second. It was a reassuring vision, one that made the cosmos feel orderly, predictable, and calm. An arrow that cannot turn back. Yet time possesses a quality unlike space. It moves in only one direction. We call this the arrow of time. You may walk forward or backward across a room, but you can never step back into yesterday. This irreversible flow is bound to one of the most sobering laws of physics. Entropy always increases. The universe began in a state of exquisite order and has been slowly, quietly drifting toward disorder. That gentle, relentless drift is what we experience as time itself. The fated marriage, space and time. The greatest transformation in our understanding came not from a royal observatory, but from a young clerk working quietly in a patent office, Albert Einstein. The dissolution of boundaries. Einstein revealed that space and time are not separate realms at all. They are woven together into a single, flexible fabric known as space-time. Imagine yourself resting on a sheet of soft silk. As you shift your weight, the fabric moves with you. In Einstein's universe, motion through space always affects time, and motion through time is inseparable from space. The geometry of gravity. Here lies one of the most elegant truths of modern physics. Gravity is not an invisible force pulling objects together, as Newton once believed. Gravity is the shape of space-time itself. Picture placing a heavy sphere, the sun, onto a stretched rubber sheet. Its weight creates a gentle depression. Earth is not being pulled by an unseen tether. It simply follows the curved path created by the sun's presence. Matter tells space-time how to bend, and space-time tells matter how to move. The opening of the stage. The Big Bang. Breathe slowly, evenly. We now rewind the great film of the universe, traveling back 13.8 billion years. The singularity, the seed of everything. At the very beginning, all that exists today, the vast galaxies, the quiet planets, even you, was compressed into an unimaginably small point known as the singularity. Within it, density and temperature were infinite, and the laws of physics as we know them simply ceased to apply. In that moment, neither space nor time had yet come into being. The Great Expansion. Then came the Big Bang. It was not an explosion echoing through empty space. Rather, it was the expansion of space itself. There was no outside, no surrounding darkness into which the universe expanded. The universe was and remains everything. A canvas stretching outward, patiently making room for all that would follow. The rapid expansion, cosmic inflation. In the first fractions of a second, a profound miracle unfolded. Cosmic inflation, flattening the canvas. In an instant, the universe expanded faster than the speed of light itself. This breathtaking growth smoothed away the earliest irregularities, leaving behind a universe that appears astonishingly flat and uniform. Like a balloon inflated in a heartbeat, its surface became calm and even, the seeds of structure. Within that brief moment, tiny quantum vibrations, no larger than whispers, were frozen in place and magnified. These subtle variations became regions of slightly greater density. Over time, gravity drew them together, forming the first stars and galaxies. Even the grandest structures of the cosmos began as the faintest tremors in primordial darkness. The cosmos's childhood portrait, the CMB. After nearly 380,000 years of steady expansion and cooling, the universe reached another quiet yet extraordinary turning point, the moment when light was finally set free. Before that time, the young universe resembled a dense, glowing fog. It was filled with charged particles drifting endlessly, scattering every ray of light and keeping it imprisoned, unable to travel far. But as the temperature slowly fell, electrons began to settle gently into the embrace of atomic nuclei, forming the first neutral atoms. In that instant, the cosmic fog thinned and dissolved. Light, once confined, was finally able to journey across the vastness of space. The cosmic microwave background. That first light still surrounds us today, softly echoing from every direction as the cosmic microwave background, or CMB. It carries the memory of a time when the universe was still an infant, quiet and newly formed. When you notice the faint static on an old television screen without a signal, a small portion of that noise comes from this ancient light. It is the oldest image we possess, the universe's childhood portrait, and a gentle reminder that we are, quite literally, children of light. Your breath is slow now, deep and unhurried. Feel the calm assurance that the fabric of space-time has been patiently woven to cradle your existence tonight. The Earth continues its silent rotation. The magnetic field remains vigilant, sheltering your dreams, and the whispers of origin still drift softly across the cosmos, brushing your thoughts with peace. Let your body fully relax. Let your mind become as light as a single grain of stardust floating in the void. Drift into rest beneath the quiet protection of the cosmic symphony. Imagine space as a tranquil ocean, and yourself as a single drop gently dissolving into its vastness, where time is no longer a demand, but a slow, rhythmic breath guiding you towards stillness. Soon, we will turn away from the spectacle of creation itself and contemplate something even more subtle, the great stage upon which mass and energy move, shaping and bending both space and time. Welcome to the dance of distortion, the influence of mass. Let your breath follow the curves of creation and allow the story of the cosmic fabric to carry you into the deepest calm. The fabric of space-time, the silent participant. Before we can understand distortion, we must first imagine the nature of the stage on which everything unfolds. For centuries, even the greatest minds, including Isaac Newton, believed that space was merely an empty, passive container. Time, in this view, flowed steadily and impartially, like a universal clock marking the same rhythm everywhere. Then came Albert Einstein, offering a vision both radical and deeply poetic. Space and time, he revealed, are not separate realms. They are woven together into a single four-dimensional entity known as space-time. Imagine it not as a hollow void, but as a supple living fabric, responsive and alive. Every event in the universe, from the fall of a leaf to the death of a star, occupies a unique address on this vast canvas. And the canvas itself does not remain still. It bends, stretches, and responds to everything that exists upon it. When mass learns to command space. The dance of distortion begins with one profound principle. Mass tells space-time how to bend. Relax even further now. Picture space-time as a smooth rubber sheet suspended in darkness. Place a heavy object upon it, our sun, for example, and the surface gently curves inward, forming a deep indentation. This curvature is what we experience as gravity. The greater the mass, the deeper the bend. Earth creates its own subtle curve in this cosmic fabric. And even your body, resting here tonight, produces a bend so small it is nearly immeasurable. Yet it is real all the same. The universe is no longer a collection of straight lines and empty distances. It is a graceful landscape of invisible valleys and gentle slopes, where every particle quietly shapes the space around it. Dark matter, the invisible gardener. Your breath is now steady, light, unhurried. Imagine a silent presence that keeps entire galaxies from slowly unraveling. That presence is dark matter. We cannot see dark matter because it neither emits nor reflects light. Yet we know it is there because its mass gently distorts the space surrounding galaxies. Without this unseen weight, galaxies would lack the gravitational strength to hold their outer stars in place. Those stars would drift away, scattered like raindrops flung from a rapidly spinning umbrella. Dark matter is a quiet architect, a ghostly gardener shaping the universe without ever revealing its face. Through its gravity, it carves immense valleys into space-time, guiding gas and stars into vast, stable formations. Though invisible, it makes up about 27% of the universe, far more than all the matter we can see combined. It is the curvature created by dark matter that weaves the great cosmic web, where galaxies gather and remain bound in a delicate, enduring harmony. Every curve of space, every distortion serves a purpose, to create balance and continuity. The Earth still moves calmly along its smooth, geodesic path around the sun. The magnetic field continues to guard the atmosphere, and the moonlight, born from an ancient collision, still rests softly upon your closed eyes. After billions of years of turbulence and transformation, the universe has arranged itself with extraordinary care so that tonight you may lie here and feel your heartbeat align with the quiet breathing of eternal space. Allow your body to relax completely. Let your mind grow as light as a grain of planetary dust drifting through the most peaceful reaches of the cosmos. Drift now into rest, sheltered by the gentle certainty of cosmic geometry. Imagine the universe as a vast mattress of black velvet, each star a subtle fold that supports your dreams, guiding you along graceful curves toward perfect stillness. Night travelers. Most of you have already slipped into sleep, but a few remain awake. Sit quietly by our campfire and let its warmth dissolve the last restlessness in your thoughts. Let your breathing return to its natural rhythm. Feel the support beneath you, as though you were resting upon the soft, yielding fabric of space-time itself. Inhale slowly, drawing the immensity of the universe into your chest, and exhale just as gently, releasing all concern for what must be done or who you must become. Tonight, we stand at the boundary of light, where past and future quietly meet. Here, we listen to the story of what can be seen and what will forever remain hidden within the deep mist of nothingness. Welcome to the horizon of light and the end, the great impact. This is the final chapter of our journey, where we come to understand both our limits and the quiet grandeur of an ending. Persistent messengers from the past. Let your breath slow, steady, like the rhythm of light itself, traveling patiently across ages to reach you tonight. In this immense universe, light is our sole storyteller. Everything we know of distant stars comes to us through photons, tireless messengers born in stellar furnaces or cast outward by violent cosmic explosions. Light moves swiftly, yet never instantly. Its speed, about 300,000 kilometers per second, is the ultimate limit set by nature. This finite pace turns our telescopes into instruments of memory. When you look at the moon, you see it as it was 1 second ago. When you gaze at the sun, you are receiving its story from 8 minutes in the past. If the sun were to vanish this very moment, we would still bask in its warmth for 8 more minutes before night truly arrived. Let your thoughts travel farther still. The nearest star, Proxima Centauri, tells a story 4 years old. The Andromeda Galaxy, our grand neighboring spiral, appears to us as it was 2.5 million years ago, when early humans were just beginning to walk across the African plains. We never see the universe as it is now. We see only echoes, ancient impressions carried by light. The farther we look into space, the deeper we peer into time itself, toward the quiet dawn where everything began. The bubble of perception, the visible universe. Now allow your body to rest. Imagine yourself lying quietly at the center of a vast, transparent crystal sphere. Scientists call this sphere the visible universe. It is not the whole of existence, but an information bubble, the region from which light has had enough time to travel to us since the beginning of everything. Our universe is about 13.8 billion years old. At first glance, it seems natural to assume that this bubble would have a radius of 13.8 billion light years. Yet here, another quiet miracle reveals itself. The universe is expanding. While light races faithfully toward us, the space beneath it is also stretching, like a runner moving forward on a track that lengthens with every step. Because of this expansion, the most distant objects we can see today are not merely 13.8 billion light years away, but about 46.5 billion light years. This means the entire cosmos accessible to human observation forms a sphere nearly 93 billion light years across. Beyond that boundary, light simply has not had enough time to arrive. We live inside an oasis of information, surrounded by a vast horizon of time that quietly seals us in. The firewall and the childhood picture, the CMB. Take a deep breath. Have you ever wondered what lies at the very edge of our vision? Is it an empty black abyss? No. What waits there is ancient and softly luminous. About 380,000 years after the Big Bang, the universe bore little resemblance to what we see today. It was a dense, searing ocean of charged particles. Light could not travel freely. Every photon was trapped, endlessly colliding with free electrons, like a wanderer lost in a burning fog. The universe was completely opaque. No message could escape. Then, as the cosmos cooled, electrons began to join with nuclei, forming neutral atoms. In that moment, the fog lifted. Light was released and allowed to journey freely through space for the very first time. This pivotal event is known as recombination, or the release of light. That ancient glow still surrounds us today as the cosmic microwave background, the CMB. When you notice faint static on an old television with no signal, a tiny portion of it comes from this very dawn. It is the universe's childhood photograph, visible in every direction. This light forms a wall of time. Beyond it, light cannot show us anything more, because before that moment, the universe simply did not allow light to travel. The invisible invader, dark energy. Now, let your body soften even further. We are about to encounter the most mysterious and commanding presence of all, the force shaping the destiny of every realm of light we have passed through. In the late 1990s, scientists made a startling discovery. The universe was not slowing down under gravity's pull. It was accelerating. Galaxies were rushing away from one another faster and faster. The unseen driver of this expansion was named dark energy, a substance that makes up roughly 68 to 73% of the universe. Dark energy appears to be a property of empty space itself. As space expands, more dark energy comes into being, pushing reality outward with increasing strength. It is an uneven struggle, where the gravity of stars and galaxies steadily loses ground to the quiet, relentless pressure of nothingness. Sad love, songs about the end. Your breathing is slow now, deep. We turn our gaze toward a future so distant that time itself seems to loosen its grip. Guided by the dominance of dark energy, the universe may meet one of several endings. The Big Freeze, or heat death. This is the outcome most scientists consider likely. As dark energy drives galaxies farther apart, light will no longer be able to cross the vast distances between them. Stars will exhaust their fuel and fade away one by one. The universe will become a silent, frozen ocean, its temperature approaching absolute zero, with no remaining source of energy or motion. It will settle into an endless sleep. The Big Crunch. If dark energy were to weaken and gravity reclaim its strength, expansion would halt and reverse. The universe would begin to contract, everything drawn back into a blazing singularity, as if the cosmic film were rewinding toward the Big Bang. Some believe this collapse could ignite another beginning, a big bounce, and a new cycle of creation. The Big Rip, the most violent of all possibilities. Should dark energy grow overwhelmingly strong, it would tear galaxies apart, then stars, then planets, and finally even atoms and space-time itself. The universe would unravel completely, like paper ripped to shreds in a relentless storm. Speculations about beyond the horizon. As your eyelids grow heavy, allow your thoughts to drift gently toward the very limits of reason. Beyond the horizon of everything we can see, is there still something more? Science continues to contemplate the idea of the multiverse. Perhaps our universe is only a single delicate bubble floating in an endless cosmic foam. Each bubble may be a universe unto itself, governed by its own laws of physics, with its own beginning and its own ending. If this is true, then even the fate of our universe may be only a quiet verse in an infinite song of creation. Yet there is another, softer possibility. Perhaps the universe has no outside at all, much like the surface of a sphere. An astronaut traveling endlessly in one direction would never encounter an edge or a wall. After an unimaginably long journey, they might simply return to where they began. The universe, then, could be finite, yet without boundaries, whole, complete, and gently self-contained. The universe has spent 13.8 billion years preparing this single moment, so that one small part of it, you, could awaken, breathe, and quietly contemplate its beauty before sleep arrives. You are thinking stardust, the way the universe becomes aware of itself, the way it looks back and learns to wonder. Concerns about tomorrow and echoes of yesterday dissolve into the stillness of eternal space. The magnetic field continues its silent vigil. Light that began its journey billions of years ago still slips softly through your window, standing guard over your rest tonight. Completely relax your body. Let your mind grow light, like a drifting cloud of planetary dust, and surrender to the deepest, most peaceful sleep, wrapped in the long and majestic history of creation. Imagine the night sky as a soft blanket of black velvet, woven with ancient lights, gently rocking you into beautiful dreams amid a boundless ocean of stars. Standing before the vast darkness and gazing at distant pinpoints of light, you may wonder whether you are witnessing a silent emptiness or a living symphony of time. For centuries, following Isaac Newton, humanity believed that space was merely an absolute container, an empty stage awaiting its actors, while time was a grand, universal clock, ticking steadily for all things. Then came Albert Einstein, offering a more poetic and profound vision. Space and time, he revealed, are not separate. They merge into a single, supple, four-dimensional fabric known as space-time. It all began 13.8 billion years ago, not with an explosion within space, but with the birth of space and time themselves, emerging from a singularity of infinite density and temperature. you begin to understand that we do not live inside a rigid box, but upon a vast, sculpted landscape shaped by matter itself. According to this elegant idea, matter tells space-time how to bend, and the bending of space-time tells matter how to move. The sun does not pull the Earth with an invisible thread. It creates a deep gravitational valley in the cosmic fabric, and our planet simply follows the straightest possible path along that curve. This distortion is so subtle and powerful that it even slows the passage of time. Near immense concentrations of mass, such as black holes, where space-time is stretched to its limits, the rhythm of time itself begins to falter. Hidden within this darkness is dark matter, an unseen gardener composing 27% of the universe, quietly shaping galaxies with gravity alone, weaving the invisible framework upon which the visible cosmos rests. Each time you peer through a telescope, you are holding a genuine time machine. Because light travels at a finite speed, we never see the universe as it is now, only as it once was. We see the sun as it was 8 minutes ago, the Andromeda Galaxy as it appeared 2.5 million years ago, when human ancestors were just learning to walk. We can even glimpse the edge of perception itself through the cosmic microwave background, the universe's luminous childhood portrait from the moment light first traveled freely. And still, the story continues. The universe is expanding ever faster under the influence of dark energy, a mysterious force pushing the islands of light farther apart. One possible future is the Big Freeze, where stars fade, warmth disappears, and the cosmos becomes a silent, black ocean. We are, in essence, stardust that has awakened, beings capable of pausing to reflect on our own beginnings, carrying within us elements forged in the blazing hearts of long-fallen stars. Even if the final destiny of all things is eternal silence, our presence here and now stands as a quiet, magnificent testament to humanity's boundless curiosity before the infinite beauty of creation. The universe is like a vast carpet of black velvet, and each of us is but a single delicate thread. Every fold and gentle curve of that cosmic fabric not only shapes the world itself, but also wraps around you tonight, embracing and protecting your dreams within the immense stillness of space. Now, allow your body to fully relax. Feel the steady support beneath you, as though you are resting upon the very fabric of space-time itself, soft, resilient, and quietly enduring. Take a slow, deep breath, drawing the clarity of the cosmos into your lungs, and exhale gently, releasing all thoughts of urgency, of effort, of time itself. Here, at the meeting point of past and present, we are not setting out to explore distant realms, but returning inward to our own beginnings. Every atom in your breath tonight carries a story written billions of years ago. Welcome to the cradle of the star ocean, universe and Earth. This is not merely a tale of planets and orbits, but a quiet love song, one that speaks of protection, belonging, and the eternal bond between the vast ocean of stars and our small, fragile home. The legacy of starfire and dust. Have you ever wondered why the night sky stirs something deep within you? The answer lives inside your own body. The universe is not distant or separate. It is the ancient parent that shaped every part of who you are. Your life began in the fiery cores of stars that disappeared billions of years ago. The iron flowing through your blood, the calcium strengthening your bones, the oxygen filling your lungs this very moment. None of these arose by chance. They were forged in the immense furnaces at the hearts of giant stars. When those stars reached the end of their lives, they exploded in powerful supernovae, scattering their precious elements across the darkness of space. From that scattered dust, new worlds formed, and eventually, so did you. We are truly stardust, awakened and reflecting upon its own origins. Listen to the rhythm of your heart. Each beat affirms the journey of atoms that once belonged to distant suns, now gathered together to form a living, breathing human being. You are not merely standing on a planet. You are the universe, quietly experiencing its own beauty. The symphony takes shape, the formation of the solar system. Breathe evenly now, like the steady rhythm of creation itself. About 4.6 billion years ago, our solar system existed only as a dense pocket within a vast molecular cloud of gas and dust. Under the gentle yet persistent pull of gravity, this region began to collapse and spin. At its center, where matter gathered most densely, temperatures rose, giving birth to a young, radiant star, our sun. Around it, the remaining material flattened into a broad, swirling disk. Within this disk, tiny grains of dust collided and clung together, much like snowflakes forming in silence. Over time, these grains grew into larger bodies, then into small worlds, and eventually into the planets we recognize today. Closer to the sun, where heat was intense, only rock and metal endured, forming planets like Earth. Farther out, beyond the frozen boundary, ice and gas accumulated into the majestic giants, Jupiter, Saturn, and their distant companions. Everything unfolded in calm order, like a symphony patiently guided by the unseen hand of gravity. Silent shields that guard your sleep. As you lie here, safely wrapped in your blanket, remember that the Earth itself is also held within far greater, unseen layers of protection. The universe does not only give rise to life, it also stands as its most patient and silent guardian. The first of these shields is the heliosphere, a vast invisible bubble that surrounds the entire solar system. The sun does more than shine. It continually releases a gentle but powerful stream of charged particles known as the solar wind. This wind inflates the heliosphere, shielding our world from the harsher radiation of cold interstellar space. Scientists now describe its curious shape as resembling a softly collapsed crescent drifting quietly through the galactic ocean. Closer still, the Earth maintains a shield of its own, the magnetic field. When violent solar storms surge toward our planet, this magnetic veil calmly redirects the charged particles toward the poles. There, they brush against the upper atmosphere and paint the night sky with flowing curtains of light, soft greens, blues, and reds. These shimmering auroras are not merely beautiful. They are visible proof that the Earth is tirelessly defending its atmosphere, preserving the air you breathe tonight. Rest assured, these silent shields do not grow weary. A companion born of fire and fate, let your thoughts drift now toward the gentle glow of moonlight slipping through a narrow gap in the door. The moon is more than a quiet ornament in the sky. It is the legacy of a violent yet decisive moment in Earth's early history. Around 4.5 billion years ago, a wandering body known as Theia collided with the young Earth. From this colossal impact, vast amounts of molten material were cast into space. Over time, that debris gathered and cooled, forming the moon. Since then, it has served as a steady companion, stabilizing Earth's rotation and preventing extreme and chaotic shifts in the planet's axis. Without the moon, Earth's climate would swing wildly, harsh and unpredictable. With it, the rhythms of tides and seasons remain calm and reliable, allowing life to take root, adapt, and endure. The moon is a part of Earth that once broke away, now standing watch in silence, offering balance and reassurance from afar. Wandering messengers and the seeds of life. Sometimes the most frightening events deliver the most profound gifts. In its earliest chapters, Earth was frequently struck by comets and asteroids, visitors from the outer reaches of space. These icy travelers may have carried water, helping to fill the oceans, and brought with them complex organic molecules, the earliest ingredients of life. Many scientists believe that these ancient collisions planted the first seeds that would one day grow into forests, creatures, and finally, ourselves. Even the catastrophic impact 65 million years ago, which ended the age of the dinosaurs, created space for new forms of life to rise. In the universe, destruction is often the doorway to renewal, and endings quietly prepare the ground for beginnings yet to come. The green oasis of the Goldilocks zone. Now feel the gentle warmth of your body. You are resting in a remarkably rare place. Earth resides in what scientists call the habitable zone, or the Goldilocks zone, around the sun. Here, temperatures are neither too fierce nor too cold. Water can remain liquid, the quiet foundation of all life and every dream you carry tonight. At a distance of about 150 million kilometers from the sun, Earth receives sunlight in just 8 minutes, delivering warmth without destruction, energy without excess. When you gaze upon the famous pale blue dot image captured by Voyager, Earth appears as a fragile speck suspended in a vast sunbeam. Yet within that tiny point lies every ocean, every memory, every moment of love and longing. It is our only home, a calm refuge within a restless sea of stars. Your breath is now light, unhurried. Feel the deep peace of this moment. Though the universe is immense and full of powerful motion, you are here, secure in Earth's embrace, protected by ancient forces that have quietly stood guard for billions of years. Allow your body to soften completely. Let your thoughts drift, weightless as a grain of stardust in the most tranquil reaches of space. Tonight, sleep beneath the shelter of a universe that has patiently shaped itself so that you may rest in safety. Now, allow your body to fully relax. Feel your weight gently sinking into the comfort of the armchair. Take a slow, deep breath, drawing the calm of understanding into your lungs. And exhale just as slowly, letting the weight of the ordinary world quietly fade away. Tonight, we will not only admire the distant beauty of the stars, we will walk softly in the footsteps of the dream weavers, those resilient minds who dared to face the darkness directly, searching patiently for the faintest rays of truth. Welcome to the dream weavers in the darkness, the efforts of scientists. Let your breathing fall into rhythm with the flow of history, and allow this quiet love song of curiosity to carry you toward rest. The first steps, beyond the golden hoop. Let your breathing remain even, calm, unhurried. The story of humanity's quest to understand the universe is a long relay, passed from one generation to the next across thousands of years. For much of that time, people believed themselves to stand at the very center of creation, enclosed within perfect crystal spheres arranged by divine design. Then, in the 16th century, a quiet and careful thinker named Nicholas Copernicus made a courageous leap. He dared to move the Earth from its imagined throne and place the sun at the center instead. His idea was dangerous, even heretical, but it opened a door that could never again be closed. Not long after, Galileo Galilei lifted his gaze beyond the limits of the naked eye. With simple telescopes of his own making, he turned toward Jupiter and saw something astonishing: small moons circling another world. In that moment, Galileo understood that Earth was no longer unique. The ancient golden hoop of belief, binding humanity to the center, quietly shattered. Then came Isaac Newton, the great architect of order. With elegant mathematics, he revealed that the force pulling an apple toward the ground is the very same force guiding planets in their paths around the sun. The universe suddenly revealed itself as coherent and readable, like a vast clock whose steady rhythm could finally be understood. The living computers and the measure of the cosmos. Now let your thoughts drift to the halls of the Harvard Observatory in the early 20th century. There, a group of quiet, diligent women worked as computers, carefully analyzing glass photographic plates. Among them was Henrietta Swan Leavitt, patient and precise. Over years of meticulous work, she noticed a subtle but profound pattern. Brighter Cepheid variable stars pulsed more slowly than dimmer ones. From this simple observation came an extraordinary gift, a reliable cosmic ruler. Using Henrietta's discovery, Edwin Hubble made a revelation in 1925 that forever changed our understanding. He demonstrated that the Andromeda Nebula was not a nearby cloud within the Milky Way, but an entirely separate galaxy, millions of light years away. In a single stroke, the universe expanded beyond all prior imagination, becoming vast beyond comprehension. The dance of space-time and Einstein's unease. Let your shoulders soften. Feel the stillness settle in. While Hubble was measuring the distant islands of light, a quiet clerk in a Swiss patent office was reshaping reality itself. Albert Einstein taught us that space is not an empty stage, and time is not a simple ticking clock. Together they form a single, flexible fabric, space-time, curved and shaped by mass and energy. Yet even Einstein was uneasy with the implications of his own equations. They suggested that the universe could not remain still. It must be expanding or contracting. Uncomfortable with this idea, he introduced a mathematical adjustment, the cosmological constant, to hold the universe in place. Later, he would call this his greatest mistake. When Hubble's observations revealed that distant galaxies were indeed moving away from us, Einstein accepted the truth. The universe was alive with motion, unfolding endlessly. In the quiet uncertainty of the 1930s, a Belgian priest and physicist named Georges Lemaitre proposed a daring thought. If the universe is expanding, he reasoned, then it must once have emerged from an incredibly small and dense beginning, a primordial atom. From this gentle insight grew the foundation of what we now call the Big Bang theory. And so, night traveler, the darkness was never empty. It was filled with minds willing to wait, to measure, to doubt, and to dream. Their patience carved pathways of understanding through the vast night, paths that now quietly lead you toward rest. Vera Rubin, the woman who conquered the invisible darkness. Your breathing is now slow, deep, unhurried. Imagine yourself standing beside Vera Rubin beneath the clear Arizona night sky of the 1970s. Above you, the stars are steady and calm. Around her, however, the world of science was far less welcoming to women. Yet she remained patient, night after night, quietly observing the motion of stars at the outer edges of distant galaxies. What she discovered did not make sense, at least, not at first. Stars far from the galactic center were moving just as fast as those close in. According to the known laws of physics, they should have been flung into the darkness, escaping the galaxy altogether. And yet, they remained. Vera Rubin had the courage to trust what the universe was telling her. She proposed that an unseen presence, dark matter, accounting for roughly 27% of the universe, was acting as a silent gravitational glue, holding galaxies together. Her work gently reminded humanity of a humbling truth. Much of what truly governs the universe is invisible to the eye, yet essential beyond measure. The hunt for dark energy and the patience behind James Webb. As the night deepens, let your thoughts drift toward more recent discoveries. At the close of the 20th century, research teams led by Adam Rees, Saul Perlmutter, and Brian Schmidt studied distant type Ia supernovae to measure the universe's expansion. They expected to see the expansion slowing under gravity's pull. Instead, they found something astonishing. The universe was accelerating. Some unknown force was pushing galaxies apart faster and faster. This force, dark energy, makes up about 68% of the cosmos and remains one of the greatest mysteries ever encountered. And then there is the quiet perseverance behind the James Webb Space Telescope. For 25 years, thousands of scientists and engineers labored with care and resolve. They endured countless technical challenges, single-point failures, and even devastating hurricanes like Harvey. all of it for one purpose: to send a great golden eye 1.5 million kilometers from Earth to the L2 point, where it could gaze back toward the earliest light of creation. Every folded layer of the sun shield, every precisely polished beryllium mirror, was an act of faith. Faith that patience and precision could allow us to glimpse the universe's dawn. Your breath is now almost weightless. Feel the deep calm of this moment. The scientists you have met tonight left behind more than equations and instruments. They left a legacy of perseverance and hope. They showed us that even a small species on a small world can reach across space and time through curiosity and devotion to truth. Picture their work as children in a dark room, slowly tracing the edges of a vast puzzle. They may not yet see the whole image, but their steady heartbeats are like candles, gently warming the immense darkness of the universe. Are you still awake, night travelers? If you are, we will continue on to the arms reaching for eternity, humanity's achievements. Let these thoughts soften your dreams, guiding you towards sleep with a quiet sense of pride in what humanity has dared to imagine. The lone messengers in the interstellar ocean. Let your breathing remain even, slow, like the tireless journey of the most distant travelers we have ever sent. Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. Launched in the autumn of 1977, these small spacecraft carried a profound mission to extend human awareness farther than ever before into the solar system and beyond. Voyager 1 sailed past the brilliance of Jupiter and Saturn and kept going. In 1990, far from home, it turned back one final time. The image it captured showed Earth as a tiny, fragile, pale blue dot suspended in a beam of sunlight. In that quiet photograph lay a powerful reminder. Everything we love, everything we are, exists within that single speck. The true miracle came later. In 2012 for Voyager 1 and 2018 for Voyager 2, they crossed the boundary of the heliosphere, the sun's protective bubble, and entered interstellar space. They became humanity's first true envoys to the stars. Attached to each spacecraft is a golden record, a message cast into the cosmic ocean. It carries greetings in many languages, the sounds of Earth's winds and oceans, the heartbeat of our world. Perhaps one day another intelligence will hear it. Perhaps not. Even if these spacecraft one day drift as silent relics, they have already proven something profound: that human hands, guided by wonder, can reach beyond the warmth of sunlight and into eternity. Glass eyes that see through time. Now, let your thoughts rise gently into higher orbits, where telescopes drift in silence, patiently watching the universe unfold. Among humanity's greatest achievements of the 20th century stands the Hubble Space Telescope, a quiet observer with extraordinary vision. Hubble did more than deliver breathtaking images. It transformed our sense of scale and place. In 1995, it was aimed toward what appeared to be an empty patch of sky. The result, the Hubble Deep Field, was nothing short of revelatory. Each faint point of light was not a star, but an entire galaxy, each one home to billions of suns. Through Hubble's eye, we learned that the universe holds trillions of galaxies, and that we are not standing at the center of creation, but gently adrift within it. Yet the journey of understanding did not end there. Humanity went on to build another marvel, the James Webb Space Telescope, often called a triumph of human ingenuity. Stationed at the L2 point, 1.5 million kilometers from Earth, it rests in the deep cold and darkness, far from the warmth and glare of its home planet. Its 18 gold-coated mirrors are designed to see infrared light, ancient light, from the first stars and galaxies born shortly after the Big Bang. We watched with held breath as its vast sun shield, as large as a tennis court, unfolded layer by delicate layer, offering protection with the equivalent of an SPF 10 million. Now, James Webb is writing new chapters in the story of the cosmic dawn, revealing young galaxies taking shape and ravenous black holes growing at speeds that challenge our deepest theories. Through these glass eyes, the universe, through humanity, has learned to look back at itself. Chapter 3. Listening to the pulse of space-time. Let your shoulders soften. Feel the stillness of this moment. Did you know that we can now hear the universe? For centuries, we explored the cosmos only through light. But on September 14th, 2015, everything changed. Scientists made the first direct detection of gravitational waves, subtle ripples in the fabric of space-time itself, using the observatories known as LIGO and Virgo. These waves were born from a violent embrace, the collision of two black holes, 1.4 billion light-years away. To sense such a whisper, researchers employed laser mirrors kilometers apart, measured with a precision smaller than the width of an atom. In a fleeting instant, the merging black holes converted 3 to 8 times the mass of our sun into pure energy. For that moment, the power released exceeded the combined light of every star in the visible universe. With this achievement, humanity gained an entirely new sense, a way to listen to the deep, resonant music of regions where light itself cannot escape. Chapter 4. Photographing the gateway to nothingness. Now, allow your imagination to drift beyond familiar limits. One of the most astonishing accomplishments of this decade was humanity's first direct image of a black hole. In 2019, the Event Horizon Telescope, a global network of radio observatories synchronized to act as a single Earth-sized instrument, revealed an image of a supermassive black hole at the heart of the galaxy M87. Then, in 2022, came another quiet shock. The image of Sagittarius A star, the colossal presence at the very center of our own Milky Way. The black hole itself remains unseen. What we captured was its shadow, surrounded by a glowing ring of matter heated to millions of degrees as it spiraled inward. To create these images, scientists processed nearly 5 petabytes of data, an ocean of information filling thousands of hard drives. This achievement stands as a testament to global cooperation, to minds working across borders and cultures, united by a shared gaze toward the same profound mystery. The event horizon, the threshold where time slows, space bends, and the universe holds its breath. Mysterious maps of darkness. Now take a slow breath, a deeper one still. We no longer look only at what glitters in the light. Humanity has begun to chart the unseen. For decades, scientists have worked quietly and persistently to understand dark matter and dark energy, two elusive presences that together account for nearly 95% of the universe. With the help of new instruments, such as the recently launched Euclid telescope and the soon-to-be-completed Vera Rubin Observatory, we are slowly revealing the hidden architecture of the cosmos. We now understand that dark matter acts as a silent architect, using gravity to bind galaxies together and prevent them from drifting apart. Dark energy, by contrast, is the unseen force stretching space itself, driving the universe to expand faster and faster, and quietly shaping the destiny of everything that exists. We still do not know precisely what these forces are, yet the very act of naming them, of measuring their influence, marks a profound step forward. We are no longer beings who kneel before the darkness. We have become those who light small candles, patiently illuminating the deepest corners of reality. Your breath is now feather light. Feel the calm that settles in this moment. Though our bodies may be small, our spirit is vast, defined by the courage to dream and the will to reach toward eternity. The solar system continues its gentle watch over you. The Earth turns steadily, preserving the rhythm of your breath. And far beyond, the outstretched arms of humanity continue their quiet vigil, exploring, protecting, and learning, so that a part of the universe, called you, may awaken, breathe, and feel its beauty before surrendering to sleep. Allow your body to soften completely. Let your mind become as light as a grain of stardust, drifting back toward the memory of beginnings. Rest now, wrapped in the protection of cosmic history and the long, patient achievements of humankind. Imagine human endeavor as a scattering of small lighthouses across a vast ocean of stars. Through darkness and storm, they continue to shine, gently guiding your dreams toward perfect stillness. Tonight, beneath the shimmering velvet of the night sky, you sense a quiet harmony between the beating of your heart and the eternal calm of space. You understand that we are not strangers here. Each of us carries a legacy of fire and stardust, iron in our blood, calcium in our bones, elements forged in the burning hearts of stars that vanished billions of years ago. This fragile bluish dot called Earth is never truly alone. It is wrapped in silent shields, the heliosphere and the magnetic field, deflecting the harsh breath of cosmic radiation and preserving the delicate balance of life. From within this safe harbor, humanity's boundless curiosity has carried us outward on a long and patient journey to understand the darkness, and in doing so, to better understand ourselves. You are always quietly moved when you think of the dream weavers of history, the steadfast minds who dared to stand alone against inherited belief in order to reach for truth. From the moment Copernicus gently placed the sun at the center, to Galileo lifting his simple telescope toward the night sky and discovering other worlds in motion, the long darkness of ignorance began, slowly and irrevocably, to recede. In silence and patience, Henrietta Swan Leavitt devoted years to careful measurement, gifting humanity an invaluable cosmic ruler. With it, Edwin Hubble was able to show that our Milky Way is not the whole of creation, but merely one island of light among countless others scattered across a vast ocean of darkness. Then came Albert Einstein, who revealed that space and time are not rigid backdrops, but a living, pliant fabric of space-time, shaped and curved by mass and energy. With that insight, our understanding of reality itself was forever transformed. Today, humanity's outstretched arms reach toward eternity through messengers of iron, steel, and glass. Voyager 1 continues its lonely journey through the cold interstellar sea, carrying the quiet greetings of Earth into the unknown. Telescopes such as Hubble and James Webb have become true instruments of time, allowing us to look back toward the dawn of the universe and to witness the shadows of supermassive black holes, thresholds where time seems to slow and meaning feels infinite. Even as we discover that the universe is expanding ever faster under the influence of mysterious dark energy and may one day fade into a silent, frozen big freeze, the resolve of those who seek understanding does not waver. As you reflect on this long journey, you come to see that humanity, though small in physical scale, is immense in spirit, simply for daring to ask questions that lie beyond immediate reach. We are stardust that has awakened, the universe learning to observe itself through thought and wonder. Every act of discovery, whether traced in careful equations or captured in luminous images, is a quiet love song offered to eternity. Good night, night travelers.